Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will do exercise 6.4 from question number 4. In the previous video we have completed up to question number 3. So now we will start question number 4. So let us start the video. Find the least number that must be subtracted from each of the following numbers so as to get a perfect square. So the number given is not a perfect square, but if we subtract a number from the given number, then that number converts into a perfect square. So we have to find that number that should be subtracted, and also find the square root of the new number obtained. So whatever the new number we will get, we have to find the square root of that number. So first part is 402. So first of all we will do it by division method. So first step is to make the pairs. So first pair is of 0 2 and second pair will be of 4. So now what we have to do, we will have to check whether 4 is a perfect square. If it is not, then we have to take a perfect square which is less than 4. But 4 is equal to 2 square, so we will write 2 here and 2 in the quotient. So 2 into 2 is 4, we will subtract and the answer will be 0, and this pair will be taken down. So it will be 0 0 2, and we will double the divisor here, that will equal to 4. Now we will put a blank here and in the quotient. Now we have to think of a digit which can be taken here so that the product is either equal to 2 or less than 2. So if we take 0 here, then 40 into 0 is 0, and we have to subtract, so the remainder is equal to 2. So the final remainder comes 2, but now we can see that we can't further do the division method because the next divisor, that will be double of 40 80, it will be greater than 2. So when the divisor is greater than the remainder, we have to stop at that point. So now here we have to check the remainder. So remainder is 2, and we have to check the quotient. Quotient is 20. So we will subtract this remainder from the given number. So 402 minus 2, that is 400. Now we can see that 402 is not a perfect square, but if we subtract remainder from the 402, then it converts into 400, and 400 is a perfect square. And what is the square root of 400? The square root of this number will be the quotient in the above proof. So the square root of 400 is 20. So in this question we have to subtract the remainder from the given number, and the quotient will be the square root of the new number. So next question is 1989. So again first step is to make pairs. So first pair is of 89, second is of 19. 19 is not a perfect square, so we will think of a number which is less than 19 and is a perfect square, which is 16. So 16 can be written as 4 into 4. So 16 subtract, this will be equal to 389. Now we have to divide, double the divisor here. 8, put a blank. So think of a digit which can be taken here. So if we take 1, then 81 into 1, which is much less than 389. Can we take 2 here? So 82 into 2 we have to check. So we have to take digits up to whenever the product is greater than this number. So the digit we can take here is 84 into 4. So what is 84 into 4? This will be equal to 336. So what is the so remainder will be 53 here. So now we can see that the divisor is greater than the remainder. So we can't do further division. So we have to subtract 53 from 198 from the given number. This will be equal to 1936. And the quotient here will be the square root of this number. So square root of 1936 will be 40. So in this way we have to subtract the remainder from the given number, that will be our new number, and the quotient will be the square root of that new number. So now third part, make pairs here. So the number will appear 5 and 5 in the quotient. So 5 into 5, 25. We will subtract. This will be equal to 750. We will double the divisor here, that is 10. Put a blank. So we have to think of a number. So the number which will appear here will be 7. So 107 into 7 will be 749. We will subtract and the remainder will be 1. Since we cannot do the further division, so 750 minus 749 will be equal to, we will subtract the remainder. 750 minus 1 will be equal to 749, and this is our new number, and the number which is in the quotient will be the square root of this number. So root 749 is equal to 57. Now fourth part, first pair is of 21, second pair is of 8. So the number which will appear here will be 2. So 2 into 2, 4. We will subtract and answer will be 425. We will double the divisor here, 4. Put a blank. So think of a number which can appear here. The digit will be 8. So 48 into 8 will be 384. And on subtracting, the remainder is 41. So now the divisor is greater than the remainder, so we can't do further division. So we have to subtract 41 from this number. So subtract 825 minus 41. The answer will be 784. And the square root of 784 will be the quotient here, that is 20. So this was part number 3 and 4. So fifth part of this question, 4000. So first bar will be on 2 zeros, second bar will be on 40. So we will take 6 here. 6 into 6 is 36. On subtracting, the answer will be 400. So we will double the divisor. So this will be equal to 1, 2 and put a blank here. So we have to think of a digit. This will be equal to 3. So 123 into 3 is 369 and the remainder will be 31. So we have to subtract now 31 from the given number. So 4000 minus 31 is equal to 3969. So this is our new number, and square root of 3969 is the quotient here, that is equal to 63. So this was question number 4. So now question number 5. Find the least number which should be added from each of the following numbers so as to get a perfect square. So in the previous question we find the number which should be subtracted, but here we have to find the number that must be added to this number to form a perfect square. So the same procedure will be followed. First of all, we will solve it by division method. Put bars on the pairs, and here 2 will appear. 2 into 2, 4. That will be equal to 125. So we will double the divisor. Here 4 will appear, and digit which can be taken here will be 2. So 42 into 2 is equal to 84. We will subtract and the remainder is 40. So now we can see that the divisor is greater than the remainder. So we cannot do the further division. So now the quotient here is 22. We have to find a number which must be added to this number. So take the next number to this quotient. The quotient here is 22. So the next number to 22 is 23, and find the square of 23. So 23 square is 529. So this number will be the next perfect square to the given number. And how to find this number? Take the next number to the quotient. Here quotient is 22, so 23 will be the next number. 23 square is 529. So now what should be added to 529 to form what should be added to 525 to form 529? So to find that, we can take difference. So 529 can be written as 525 plus 4. So therefore 4 is the number which should be added. So 4 must be added to 525 so that it becomes perfect square. So 525 is not a perfect square, but if we add 4 in 525, it will become 529, and 529 is a perfect square. And what is square root of 529? Since 23 square is 529, so square root of 529 is 22. So in this way we have to find the number which must be added to the given number. Now second part is 1750. So we will put first bar on 50 and second bar on 17. So we can take here 4. So 4 into 4 is 16. We will subtract and the answer will be 150. Now we will double the divisor here. So this will be 81. So if we take 1 here, so 81 into 1 is 81. Because 82 into 2 is 164, but it is greater than 150, so we can't take digit 2 here. So this will be equal to 69. Now we can see that the remainder is less than the divisor, so we cannot do further division. Now check the remainder quotient here. Quotient here is 41. So we have to take the number which is next to 41, that is 42. So find the square of 42. So 42 square is equal to 1764. So we can see that here, that if we add 14 to 1750, then it becomes 1764. So 1764 is our new number, and 14 is the number which must be added to 1750. 14 must be added to 1750 so that it becomes perfect square. And what will be the square root of 1764? The square root of 1764 is equal to 40. So we will check the quotient. The number next to this quotient will be the square root, and square of that number will be our new number. Now third part is 252. So first bar will be put on 52 and second bar will be on 2. So we can take the digit 1 here. So 1 into 1 is 1. We will subtract. Answer will be 152. So what we will do, we will double the divisor here. This will be equal to 2, and we can take the digits 5 here. So 25 into 5 is 125, and the remainder is 27. So in the next step, the divisor will be greater than this remainder, and there is no pair left here, so we can't do further division. So we will stop here. So now what is the quotient here? Quotient here is 15. So take the next number to this quotient, that is 16. 16 square is 256. So now what must be added to 252 to make it 256? So we can add 4 to 252 so that it becomes 256, and 256 is a perfect square. So the square root of 256 is 16. So 4 is the number which must be added to this 252 so that it becomes a perfect square. So next part is 1825. So put bars on 25 and 18, and we will take 4 here. So 4 into 4 is 16. This will become 225, and we will double the divisor here. So now we have to think of a number here. So the number which will appear here will be 2. So 82 into 2 is 164. So the remainder will be 61. So since the divisor is greater than the remainder and no pair is left here, so we will not do further division. Now what is quotient here? Quotient here is 42. So we have to think next number 43 square. So 43 square is 1849. Clear? So but we have to add in 1825. So if we add 24 into 1825, it will become 1849, which is a perfect square. So 24 is the number which must be added, and square root of 1849 will be equal to 43. So this was third part. So last part is fifth part, 6412. So we will put bars on 12 and 64. So the 8 will appear here. So 8 into 8 is 64. We will subtract, and the remainder will be 12. So that we will double the divisor here. So we can take 0. So 160 into 0 is 0. So the remainder is 12. So now we can't do further division. So the next number to 80 is 81. So we will check 81 square. So 81 square is 6561. So now check the number which must be added to 6412 to make it a perfect square. So we can simply subtract 6412 from 6561. So 6561 minus 6412. What is the remainder? What is the answer? The answer is 149. So if we add 149 in 6412, it will become 6561. So what is the number which must be added? So the number is 149, and square root of the new number 6561 is equal to 81. So this was question number 5. So now question number 6. Find length of the side of square whose area is 441 meter square. So there is a square whose area is 441, and we have to find the length of that square. So now we don't know the length, so we will let length of square equal to x meters. So if the length of the square is x meter, then what will be the area? Area of square is side square, and side is equal to x. So area will be x multiply x, that will be equal to x square. So this will be area. And what is the area given in the question? 441. So this area, that is x square, should be equal to 441. Clear? Now we have to find this value of x. So x will be equal to square root of 441. So we have to find the square root of 441. We can find square root by any method, that is prime factorization or division method. So if we take prime factorization, then it will be 3 into 3 into 7 into 7. So what we have to do, we will make pairs and take one digit from the pair outside the root. So this will be equal to 3 into 7. So the value of x will be 21 meters. So this was question number 6. Area was given. We suppose the length to be x. So x square will be equal to the given value of the area. X square equal to 441. X will be the square root of 441. You can find square root by either prime factorization or division method, and the square root will be equal to 21 meters. So this was question number 6. So question number 7. In a right angle triangle, angle B is equal to 90 degree. So first part, AB is given 6 centimeter, BC is given 8 centimeter. So we have to find the value of AC. So first of all, let us make a right angle triangle, and it is given that angle B is equal to 90 degree. So this is 90, and we can take A and C here. Clear? So now we know about the Pythagoras theorem, which states that hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square if the triangle is a right angle triangle. So it is given it is right angle, so we can apply Pythagoras theorem. So what is the hypotenuse here? That is AC square. What is the perpendicular? AB square. And what is the base? That is BC square. So now we know the value of AB and BC. So put value of AB and BC. So it will become 8 square plus 6 square. Sorry, AB is 6 and BC is 8. So this will be 6 square plus 8 square. So this is equal to 36 plus 64. So AC square is 100. Now what will be the AC? AC will be the square root of 100. And we know that what is the square root of 100? Square root of 100 is equal to 10. And if you don't remember, you can calculate it by prime factorization or division method. So AC is equal to 10. This is the hypotenuse. And we know that hypotenuse is the largest side in a right angle triangle. So we can see that 10 is greater than both 6 and 8. So in the second part, now hypotenuse is given 13 centimeter. One side is given. We have to find the third side. So again apply Pythagoras theorem, which states that AC square is AB square plus AC square BC square. Put value of AC and BC. So this will be equal to 13 square AB square plus 5 square. So this will be equal to 169 equal to AB square plus 25. Now we can take 25 on the other side and the sign will be changed. So 169 minus 25, this will be equal to 144. So AB square is 144. Now what is AB? AB is square root of 144 and the square root of 144 is equal to 12. So the value of AB is 12 centimeter. So by using this theorem, that is Pythagoras theorem, it is applicable only for a right angle triangle. If two sides are given, then we can find the third side. So now question number 8. A gardener has 1,000 plants. He wants to plant these in such a way that number of rows and columns remain same. So what is a row? Row is the horizontal line. And what is column? Column is the vertical line. So in this way he wants to place that plants, and total number of plants is 1,000. Now the rows and columns should be same. So if there is x number of rows, then the number of columns should be also x, and total plants will be equal to x multiply x, that is x square. Find minimum number of plants he needs more for this. So if he has to put these 1,000 plants in same number of rows and columns, then the given number should be a perfect square. But we can see that 1,000, it is not a perfect square. And why 1,000 is not a perfect square? Because we studied that the number of zeros at the end should be always even. But here there are only 3 zeros, that is odd number of zeros. So we can directly say that 1,000 is not a perfect square. So now we will make it a perfect square. So we have to take more plants so that it becomes perfect square. So this question is similar to that question, that what must be added to the given number to form it a perfect square. So for that question, we have to solve it by division method. So we will put bars. First bar will be on 0, 0 and second bar will be on 10. So the number which will appear will be 3. So 3 into 3 will be 9. The remainder will be 100. We will double the square number here, 6. So what digit we can take here? So if we take 62 into 2, 124 will be greater than 100. So we have to take 1. So 61 into 1 will be, and the remainder will be 20. So 39. Clear? So we can't do further division because divisor is greater than the remainder. Now what is the quotient? We have to find the number which must be added, because we have to find minimum number of plants. He needs more, and if he needs more, we have to add some number of plants in the given number of plants. So the number which is appearing in the quotient is 31. We have to think of the number which is next to 31, that is 32, and we have to take square of 32, which is equal to 1024. So since the number is 1024, so if we add 24 into 1000, this will be equal to 1024. So how many plants he needs more to arrange them in same number of rows and columns? So this is the number here, that is 24. So therefore he needs more 24 more plants to arrange them in same number of rows and columns. Clear? And if we want to find the number of rows or columns, because they are equal, this will be equal to the square root of 1024, that is 32. So there he needs 24 more plants if he wants to arrange them in same number of rows and columns, and the number of rows and columns will be equal to 32. So this was question number 8. Now the last question of this chapter. There are 500 children in a school. For a PT drill, they have to stand in such a manner that number of columns is equal to number of rows. So here it is again given that the number of rows should be equal to number of columns. So whenever we have to arrange something in a manner that number of columns is equal to number of rows, then the given number should be a perfect square. Otherwise we can't arrange them in this manner, that is rows and columns should be same. So if we want to arrange them in such a way, then the number should be a perfect square number. So now 500 is not a perfect square. How many children would be left out in this arrangement? So we have to find that how many children will be left out for this arrangement, that is number of rows and the number of columns should be same. So first of all, the same procedure will be followed. This question is similar to that question, that what number should be subtracted from the given number to make it a perfect square. So first of all, try to find the square root of 500. So first bar will be on 0, 0 and second bar will be on 5. So we can take 2 here, 4, 100. So we will take double the divisor. So 42 into 2 is 84 and the remainder is 16. Since the remainder is 16, so we can't do the further division. So now we have to find the number which must be subtracted. So what was the procedure? We subtract the remainder from the given number. So if we subtract 16 from 500, then the new number is equal to 484. And what is the square root of 484? And square root of 484 is 20. So therefore we can say that 16 children will be left out. So they have to remove 16 children from total 500 children if they want to arrange them in equal number of rows and equal number of columns. And if we want to find the number of rows or columns, then this will be equal to the square root of the new number, that is 484. Square root of 484, 22. So there will be total 22 rows and columns. Total children which can be arranged are 484. The given number was 500, so 16 children will be left out from this arrangement. So this was chapter number 6. square and square roots. So I hope you all get the chapter. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, like, subscribe and share.